You are now watching On Point, a news and public affairs show from California State University, Northridge.
Hello and welcome to On Point. I'm your host, Andres Sosa, and today we're exploring how supporting small businesses can contribute to the community growth and empowerment. In recent years, more people have taken the initiative to start their own ventures, whether driven by passion or the need for additional income. Night markets have emerged as a valuable platform for local vendors, allowing them to connect with the community while sustaining their businesses and families. Joining me today is Brandon Palmer, the organizer of the A18 Night Market and fellow small business owner. Alongside Brandon, we have Matthew Wilson and Joseph Serpico, the pastry powerhouse from Bug and Bear Cannoli. Thank you all for being here today. Brandon, I want to start with you. How did you start the A18 Night Market?
So I've been a vendor myself for the last 8 years now. I started my first business February 17th of 2017. I just did it as a hobby starting out. And when I first started vending, going to different events, it was always, the ones I did really good at was downtown LA, downtown Santa Ana, downtown Riverside. My friends and family wanted to come out and support my business, but they didn't want to make the hour and a half, 2-3 hour drive in traffic. So in 2018, we actually started a monthly art walk with the Mission Hills Church. It was every second Friday, and that was our way of kind of bringing those downtown type of events into the valley. Then when COVID hit, we had to shut it down, and we restructured it. We brought it back as the A18 Night Market, and we allowed a little bit of everything. Aside from just art vendors, we allowed collectibles, toys, food, cannolis, and just something for the community to come out and enjoy and just be able to reconnect with everyone.
Right. Matthew, obviously, careers, you can go either way, right? What made you guys to start becoming vendors?
Well, we our business kind of was born back in 2022, May of 22, and Joe's been making cannolis with his great-grandmother since he was like 4. It's her recipe, so it's an old family recipe. He taught me to make cannolis for the first time on May 2nd of 2022, and we were on a pool league at the time, so we brought those cannolis to our pool league for our teammates to enjoy, and then one of the opposing teammates' players had a bite of our cannolis, and he instantly was like, "Oh my gosh, I have to sell these at our bar. Can we sell these?" And Joe, being from the car business, was instantly like, "Yeah, of course." And I'm in the background going, "Oh no!" So we immediately started wholesaling. So like our business was born right from batch 1 of making cannolis. So we were kind of just like plunged into it. And so we started wholesaling to this bar in West Hollywood. And it, just kind of like what Brandon said, it started off as like a hobby, just on the weekends and getting like 20 cannolis to this bar every week. And then like a couple months in, they didn't have storage anymore. So we discontinued supplying that bar, but we wanted to keep making cannolis for people. So we set up in our local park in Valley Glen, and we sold like 500 cannolis that day. So we were like, this is something we need to be doing. So we made the decision to start joining like farmers markets and pop-ups, and we started doing like 1 or 2 a week, and kind of just inched our way into business.
Mm-hmm. And Joe, and obviously, you guys are already in the scene and being a vendor. How did you hear about the A18 Night Market?
We did a lot of research on, because we started off with farmers markets and like just day markets, not really knowing that side of the business. We kind of just as much research as we could, but really word of mouth. I mean, it was somebody that was already there. They're like, "Oh, you have to check this market out. It's a night market." It would have been our first night market we did, so we're like, "Yeah, let's do it. Let's sign up." And we contacted Brandon. He contacted us right back, and we were there the next week. Right.
And Brandon, and obviously, you created something special, but obviously, as people know, the beginning is always sweet, but you're always going to hit, a roadblock, anything like that.
Yeah.
What was the biggest challenges when it came to opening up the night market for you?
I think just learning the different aspects and the ins and out, because it's one thing where you could just, like, we rent out a parking lot and we book the vendors, and I had been vending myself for 8 years already. So now I have the connections and I know the vendors, but it's learning the different permits, the process, the insurance. There's a lot of back end stuff that most people don't know about. So me as the event organizer, I have to make sure that all of our vendors have their permits, which vendors need which type of permits. And when vendors come to us of products that I've never heard of exist, then I have to do my research on those, find out what permits are needed if we're going to allow them at our events.
Right. And obviously, right, there's a lot of problems like financially to start a business and all that kind of stuff, but it's also taxing emotionally and mentally. I wanted to ask you, what is your why for you to start the market?
So for me, just being able to provide the platform, because when I was a small business owner, there was no one that was there that was able to be like, okay, like this is what you need to do, or like this is like the referrals, or it's just kind of, you want to start something, it's like, where do I go? Who do I talk to? Where can I go for help? And with our event, we try providing that platform for our vendors to just start out, have somewhere where they could be at week after week, connect with their community, and eventually grow into something else. So over the years, we've had vendors that have moved into brick and mortars, from like their pop-up tents to brick and mortars. We've had vendors like Bug and Bear that have gone from the pop-up tent, now they have their food trailer. So being able to help provide like that resource and see their growth, that's part of it that's been really rewarding for us.
Absolutely. Matt, I wanted to ask you, how long have you guys been vendors for the Wednesday night market?
It has been a year and a half now. I'm pretty sure it was not this last November, but the November before it. And yeah, so we've been there since November of 24 or 23, and it honestly from day one was our busiest and best like market. Definitely to our surprise, just because it was our first time in that area, and we didn't have really many customer base out there. And then we also knew a lot of people in that area wouldn't know what a cannoli is or have never had one before. But the customers and the people that live in that area have become really our greatest building block for our business, and have become like family. So it's been amazing.
Mm-hmm. And like how Matt said about family, for you, Joe, what has been your experience like so far, being at the night market and being as a vendor?
Being that is so coming out of the regular business world and working 9 to 5 and then getting into this, I didn't realize how quickly and how close all the other vendors would become your coworkers and family and friends, and like you talk outside of that market. So it's amazing. It's this market especially, with the people that we've met. We've gone to other places with them. They've gone into brick and mortars, and we've joined them. But yeah, it's really the family, it's the friends and stuff you make out of this.
And kind of just to add on that, you talked about obviously you guys having relations with other vendors and talking to them. Obviously, a community it starts from members and people coming in, but mainly it starts from people that are selling there, people that are there every day. What is the relationship, or what's the community like for the vendors, like for you to be with someone else, or vendor to vendor?
I mean, for us, speaking for Bug and Bear, you start out being there and you don't know any of the other vendors, and they're just kind of like, it's almost like you're moving into a brick and mortar, right? And you have businesses that are already there next to you, and you have to become familiar with them and get to know them. And there are some vendors that are more willing to do that, and some vendors that are maybe a little shy or a little like pulled back. But week after week, you become more like friends and then more like family. Say if you forget your lights for your tent, and because it's a night market, somebody will have a light for you, or they'll have an extra table. So it really just becomes this tight-knit community. So it's been amazing.
And Brandon, obviously you being an organizer, how does that make you feel, knowing that people that you're having there kind of building their own community itself?
It feels really good and rewarding. One of the things that I really pride myself with the events that me and my staff have put together is it feels more than just a market, because I've been to so many other events, so many different venues, and there's times where like you said, like when you forget the lights for the canopy, it's a night market, it's dark, without lights people can't see your stuff. I've been to events where I forgot my lights, but the community at other events didn't feel like a community. It felt like kind of standoffish. They were butting heads, people didn't get along, and you feel the tension. And when you feel that tension, the customers feel it. So for our events, I always wanted to make sure that every vendor that comes in, everyone that's a part of it, we have that good synergy with each other. So when someone new comes in and seeing all of the other vendors step up, help each other out, and just the way the communities come together, and like they said, like week after week, a lot of our vendors are there week after week together, and it does feel like we've built a family of vendors and we're all there to support each other.
Right. And I kind of want to take it back. Obviously, not only you're the organizer, but you also have a small business yourself as well.
Yeah.
How do you balance both being an organizer? Because it's very stressful to have, to do one, but you're doing both.
Yeah, that's one of the things that to this day I still struggle with, because not only do I have two businesses that I'm running, but I also have a daughter. So just finding that work-life balance, managing both businesses, and how I can balance my time. Because most people see like the night market, it happens Saturday, Sunday, it's usually on the weekends. But then during the week, it's all of the contracts, the paperwork. And then my other business, I do laser engraving. So it's running my machines, and then my personal life, picking up my daughter from school, taking her where she needs to go. So that's still one of the biggest struggles to this day, is just finding the balance and the time between everything.
Mm-hmm. Right. Matt, obviously for you, obviously you guys come in, pretty much like, new kids in the block. Mm-hmm. I wanted to ask you, how has the environment been for you guys, and how welcoming has it been for you guys?
It's been super welcoming. I mean, honestly, to piggyback off what Brandon said, it's definitely the most welcoming from vendor to vendor market that we've ever done. And even after we started and we see other new vendors start, it's exactly the same way. And it's also rewarding and nice to be able to help other new vendors go through the same process that we went through, to be able to get them over speed bumps that we had, or hurdles, and then see them grow as well. So it's been incredible.
That's great. For you, Joe, obviously he talked about kind of balancing both being an organizer and a vendor. I heard that you guys also have your own business over there in Beverly Hills. I wanted to ask you, how do you guys find that balance between being a vendor and being, a businessman and having your own store?
Well, we don't have our own brick and mortar, so we have a food trailer that we do set catering with, set catering, private events, and stuff like that, and then we do the farmers markets and night markets on whatever nights are available for us. For right now, it's doable. We are going to have to expand because our set catering is starting to change. Where we won't be able to be in both places. So we're going to be hiring, and we're going to be taking that next step to where we will be able to do that. We have partnered with a cafe. They sell our cannoli in their cafe. We're not there, so that side makes it easy for us. Right. But we will be expanding.
And obviously, back to you, Joe. Obviously, you guys vend your cannolis, and you're obviously Italian. How does it make you feel knowing that you're able to sell something that it's not only a pastry, but it's a childhood thing for you? Like, how does that make you feel?
It's good. It's still, even to this day, when we make, because we make everything by hand. We roll each cannoli by hand. We make the filling every day. And when we go out there and we see our repeat customers coming back, not even just coming back to 818, our 818 customers will call us, and they'll drive to Beverly Hills if we're not going to make it to 818. It's great. It's such a rewarding feeling to have that kind of customer base already following us 2 years in.
Thank you. We're going to take a short break, but when we return, we'll hear from our reporter Asia Haskin, who got to know some of the people that make up the market. Stay tuned.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping, and I can't let this happen to my kid. So if you want to talk to your kids, you have to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
she wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Where did the time go? I don't know how I got here.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Move! 911, where's your emergency?
Everyone's on their way. What happened? Your friend's not breathing. She's dead? Yes, please get my mom and dad. Oh my God!
You might just call the ranger station and
Welcome back to On Point. As we continue our conversation on community empowerment and how it relates to supporting small businesses, our reporter Asia Haskin visited a night market to see firsthand what participating in the event means for these businesses and the people behind them.
It's a windy Saturday night.
Oh, it's getting like colder, huh?
But that isn't stopping Miguel from bringing sweet treats,
The banana peanut butter, chicken and apple.
to man's best friend.
We had lost our job during COVID. Me and my wife, this just all started just by one cake for one of our dogs, and it went like a little bit viral.
While Miguel is just one vendor, many businesses with their own stories line the market.
I had to change my viewpoint on the way I was living my life.
For Manuel, his clothing business brings perspective.
It hit me when my late wife passed. She was diagnosed with cancer, stage 4 breast cancer, and I seen the struggle that she went through. It was devastating losing her, but I like to keep her memory alive through this concept because this was our idea.
For Valeria, her bakery is a piece of home.
Argentinian alfajores. They're cookies filled with dulce de leche. They're originally from Argentina. My mom was a baker, and I love to bake, so I started little by little. I quit my job, my regular job, and I started doing it full time.
And it all happens here at the 818 Night Market, a place where vendors say they can connect with their community.
Thank you for the support. Yeah, you're gonna love these, Mom, don't you worry. Meeting customers and then getting their vibes and just having them give me a follow. You don't have to buy anything from me. I just like the following.
And a place where they can give back.
Because it's more than just what people see. There's a lot of beauty in my city. There's a lot of beauty in the valley.
Reporting from Mission Hills, I'm Asia Haskin for On Point.
Brandon, obviously we saw a fantastic report from Asia. I wanted to ask you, how does it make you feel knowing that not only are you giving these people the opportunity to sell stuff, but to them it seems like a way for them to express themselves as well?
Yeah, it feels really good because there's a lot of background and like culture where everyone comes from, and just to be able to provide that platform to people and hearing all of the backstories and how each business is run differently. It's really rewarding to be able to provide that platform for these vendors.
And obviously, for you, Matt, you know many of these vendors, maybe personally, maybe not. How does it make you feel knowing that, just like you guys are pretty much in the same boat? Mm-hmm. How does it make you feel that they also come in, sell their stuff, but they kind of use it more as a way just to express themselves?
Yeah, I mean, I think that every vendor, every business owner, their product, their business is definitely an extension of themselves. And you see that really clearly, especially at the 818 Night Market. And Brandon does a really great job of lifting that up and projecting that outward. So I mean, it feels great to know that that kind of self-expression gets not only seen but celebrated at a market like that.
Brandon, I wanted to ask you, you bring people all over the city to come and sell stuff for you. Yeah. I want to ask you, what is your process when it comes to who do you pick for vendors? And
so I think there's two ends that me and my staff kind of look at for that. Is there's different categories of vendors. So if there's a category that's we currently don't have at the event, like before I met them, I didn't even know what cannolis were. I had never heard of them. And someone's like, there's a cannoli vendor, and I'm like, what is that? So the more I do it, the more I find out like different categories. So that's one aspect we look at. It's like what's new, what's different that we can bring to the events. And then the other part of it is if it's a category that we already have, like when they come in for the first time, it's does their energy match? Are they going to be part of the community and be part of that family? Because there's been times where issues have come up where vendors don't match what our event sets to provide, and we want to make sure that we keep that family feeling where we're all helping each other grow.
Mm-hmm. And Joe, being a vendor is, is very rewarding, but it's also very tough as well. I wanted to ask you, what are some of the biggest roadblocks that you guys have faced?
Going into business from just us doing it on the weekends, or just something that was just that I've done this my whole life, so it didn't really feel like work until it turned into this is turning into an actual business. It's putting us out there and doing like the markets and doing like vendors, going out and doing night markets and stuff like that. It's the reward has been great for us.
What he said about it not feeling like work, that's something that I feel is true for myself as well. Because like growing up, my mom would work like 2 or 3 jobs at a time. And she always told me, she's like, I want to see you do what you're passionate about. Because when you're doing what you're passionate about, whether it's working for yourself or someone else, if you're passionate about it, it doesn't feel like work. You're able to do what you enjoy. And I feel like that's one of like the biggest goals in life that most people don't look at. It's not about the sales, it's not about the money that your business makes. It's about doing what you're passionate about and getting the most out of life in that way.
All right.
And then if I can just jump back in, just to add to what Joe said, when we changed our business with Bug and Bears Cannoli from just like he said, just making them on the weekends and doing like 1 or 2 markets a week, to then it becoming, me quitting my job as a waiter at a restaurant and then doing 4 or 5 markets a week. And then 6 months later or 9 months later, Joe quitting his job and both of us just doing it full time. Changing your perspective from it being a side hustle or a side thing to this something, what just Brandon said, that you love to do, being the support financially for your entire life. And then also then changing it from that to how can I make this build for my future and for our future. I think that that's definitely one of the big roadblocks, like for business owners to have, is just changing your perspective from the birth of your business to the next stage, to the next stage, to the next stage, and really just bringing it up is definitely one of the hurdles that I think we come across.
Mm-hmm. And Matt, and you kind of touched on it, both of you guys quit your job to go pretty much full and deep to be vendors. Did you have this idea of the way how it was planning out, or were you just going it like day by day?
I mean, I think we had a rough idea of what we wanted it to be, but it never goes the way that you plan it to. For us, it happened a lot quicker and faster and larger volume than we had planned it to be. We planned to get to the stage that we are now in 5 to 7 years.
That's our 5-year plan.
And we're here at 2 years. So we had to adapt and go along with the changes that it was just presented as, and how it became a business, and the demand from our customers and how much they like them and how much they want to see this in different places. And I think at a year we started getting fan mail from customers at certain markets, customers from the A18 telling us they wanted to see us at that market. So we had to take direction from our customers, where to go and how to expand. So yeah, it never goes the way you plan, for sure.
Before we wrap up, let's hear what some of the attendees had to say about their experience at the night market.
So far, it's been great because they have a great food. They have a lot of interesting stuff to buy. So I like it. It's small, and I like the music. It's great.
It's been really nice kind of connecting with those small business people, honestly. They love telling me like their story about how they got started, and yeah, and I also love connecting with in that way. So
nice. We have good food. They have aguas frescas, souvenirs, and good music.
That's the main reason why I'm here too, to support small business, our community, and it's close to my house, so I'm here.
It's very important to support small business, especially on these times, because these people, they need it.
Brandon, I'm gonna start with you. How does it feel to get the reaction that you just got right now?
I love seeing that because it's what I want the event to be, for the vendors to be able to connect directly with the people in our community, and hearing that the vendors are able to tell their stories and have those conversations with the clients that we're able to bring them. And then on the attendee end, just being able to see that they're enjoying it and that they want to come out and support these small businesses reach what their dreams are.
And for Matt and Joe, how do you guys feel about the reaction?
It's great. This is why we're where we're at, is because of customers like this. They come out and support us, and this is why we've gotten to where we are. We've built up this customer base, especially with the 818 market.
Yeah, if it wasn't for all of the vendors, the attendees, and just everyone that comes together to make it happen, because like anything that you do in life, it's not just one piece that keeps it going. There's multiple aspects to it, and just every aspect of it that comes together to make it what it is, that's what we love about it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, what are some of the advice that you can give for small business owners that want to go into become, organizing their own night market?
I think when it comes to either event organizers or just vendors in general that are looking to get started, whatever you want to do, just really push through. Don't let anything stop you. Because if I've seen so many people, like, they work their 9 to 5 and then they have their side hustle, but they're afraid to make the leap to do it full time. But if you take the 40 hours of your day job and you put that additional time into your business and just really push and pursue, yeah, you'll hit the bumps in the road, but that's part of the learning experience, and just being able to push through that and just keep persevering, learn, get out there, connect, and talk with people. That's the biggest part of it.
Brandon, Joseph, Matthew, thank you all so much for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
Today we're sharing your perspective on what it truly means to support, not only for you to support vendors, but also for you guys to be selling for the community. How can people find you guys? Social media, anything like that?
818 Night Market on Instagram, and then my other business, Laser Dexco, also on Instagram.
For us, our Instagram, which is our main source of business for people to contact us, Bug and Bears Cannoli, or at Bug and Bears Cannoli, Bug and Bears Cannoli. And then we have a website, www.bugandbearscannoli.com, and then on there you can call us, you can find our phone numbers, things like that.
Yep.
The 818 Night Market is a great example of how local support can make a real difference through every purchase, conversation, social media post, and visit. Events like these strengthen our communities and create lasting connections. So next time you're out and about, consider shopping at your local night market. Thank you for tuning in on Point, and we'll see you guys next time.